I was impressed with that move you pulled. Bang.
Ladies and boys and girls, children of all ages, it's me, it's G, it's DMC, the undefeated, undisputed YouTube champion. That's right, it's the Maverick, Mark Daniels. And I'm here with the Battleground predictions for 2017. There is a total of 8 matches with a possible 9th match. Let's go and talk about that first. So, for weeks and weeks and weeks, you can even say months, perhaps, Breezango has been on investigation. They've been looking to find out who attacked and destroyed their office and who attacked Tyler Breeze, that is, as well as find out who cut the head off of Tully the pony or horse, whatever it may be. Now, I don't know if they'll have a match at Battleground, but on SmackDown they found a note that said Battleground, so we might see a brawl, we might see just a skits from Breezango. I have a few predictions on who it could be. I think one that's been going around the campfire for a little while has been Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Both of these guys have basically been non-existent on television and ever since Bray Wyatt left, and they broke the team up yet again. It just hasn't worked out for either guy. Now, granted, I love Luke Harper, and I think the guy deserves a whole lot more on the roster. The guy seemingly was on a path to become a big star. When he was feuding with Bray Wyatt and the Randy Orton thing was going on, and he kept teasing hitting that Sister Abigail on Bray Wyatt, you could just feel the crowd just ready to explode. Now, I don't know what happened with that, but what I do know is these guys as a tag team is still really good, and they need tag teams on both divisions pretty badly. More so face tag teams. Right now, SmackDown has 2, and Raw arguably has 1. 2 if you count. You know what? I'll say 2 because you have Heath and Rhino. So they definitely could use more tag teams, but I could also see potentially a debut, and I mentioned this in actually maybe my SmackDown review, which I actually didn't put up because audio was really messed up, so I apologize for that. It could be Sanity. They've been talking about for almost half a year now that Sanity will be called up to the main roster at some point. I've seen those rumors many, many times, and they're just rumors. But I do think that, you go to a team that's been attacking and cutting off heads off of a fake horse and stuff. It has to be kind of like a creepy, tandem. And the only 2 I can think of right now would be Eric Rowan and Harper, as well as Sanity, unless they're going to just really throw a curveball out there and really debut somebody really brand new, like Red Dragon or something from NXT, which they haven't even started teaming yet, I don't think, but they're both down there. So I don't know. But I think it's going to be either Sanity or it's going to be Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Probably Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, since they're both already on the roster as it is. So let's go into the pre-show match, which is going to be Ty Dillinger, the Perfect 10, versus Aiden English, the Drama King of WWE. I think it's just going to start off with a bang. You get Ty Dillinger the win here, make the crowd happy from the get-go. Ty Dillinger's still pretty over. I know some people question why he's over. The guy's been wrestling for a long time. He's good. If you look past the 10 gimmick, he's still a good wrestler. He trained in Storm's Academy, Lance Storm, that is. The guy's very capable in the ring. Guy's tall. He's got a look. He's got a gimmick. I think the guy could definitely be something a little bit more. I don't know what they plan on doing with him from this point forward. But you can say that about a lot of guys. Chad Gable talked about how he's going to be a solo star from this point forward. But what's next for him? What's next for Ty Dillinger, Aiden English? We haven't even seen Sin Cara on SmackDown, which it's Sin Cara. But you get the point. There's a lot of guys right now that's just kind of hanging around, and I just don't know what's next for him. I would like to see some more from Ty Dillinger. I think he deserves it, and I think Chad Gable deserves it as well once we get to that point. But I think Ty Dillinger wins here. Pretty standard, pretty quick, tiebreaker, 1, 2, 3. Probably an 8-minute match on the pre-show. Then we have Sami Zayn versus Mike Kanellis. That's right, Mike Kanellis, not Mike Bennett. He took the last name of his wife, which, hey man, whatevs, right? It's starting to grow on me, this gimmick. This is his 2nd match, of course, but I'm starting to dig the gimmick. At first, I thought it was kind of silly. I made fun of it, and a lot of people did. I was like, man, they cut this poor guy out, making him take his wife's last name, but it's working. And him versus Sami Zayn could have a good match. Their match on SmackDown was very much one-sided. Sami Zayn lost due to distraction by Maria. We may see some more of that in play during this, which is fine because Mike is that kind of heel. That's his character. So I'd be fine with that. Let them feud a little bit longer. Gives them both something to do, and it's going to be. I think it could be a really good match. Then we had. So I didn't say who I think is going to win. I think Mike Kanellis wins this match here. But hook or by crook, Sami Zayn loses here again, probably with the help of Maria, and eventually Sami will get his win back somewhere down the line. And then we have the Usos versus the New Day for the WWE Tag Team titles. Last time, Usos lost via countout. They walked out. I think we'll have a more definitive finish this time. I was debating on this one for a little while because I was thinking, I'm thinking the New Day are going to take the titles from them, unless Breezango are the ones that take it from them, which would be great, and I would be all for that. But it has to be the New Day or Breezango because it has to be a babyface team unless they do a multi-man match at Summerslam. And it's already looking like, from Raw side of things, there's going to be so many multi-man matches. The tag team titles looks like it's going to be multi-man. The women's title looks like it could be multi-women match. The Universal title is looking to look like a multi-man match. So I'm thinking this is going to be more of a standard tag team title match. And I think what you do is you have the New Day win the tag team titles here at Battleground, and then they get the rematch against the Usos at SummerSlam. Now, yeah, it's just a rematch at SummerSlam, so it's not as a big a deal, but you can have all these other matches going on that are big deals. So this one will kind of be, a filler match in between those matches. Sad to say, because these guys they're both great. They put on great tag team matches against each other, have many times before. And I think New Day win here. I think you have New Day win the tag team titles finally from the Usos, and then you have the rematch at SummerSlam. Because not everyone can win new tag team titles at SummerSlam, right? It's got to be kind of split apart. Then we have a 5-way elimination match for the number one contendership for Naomi's Women's Championship at SummerSlam. It's going to be Charlotte versus Becky versus Tamina versus Lana versus Natalya. This should be a really good match. Their Money in the Bank matches were both really good. The second one was even better than the first one. All these competitors were in that match with the exception of Lana, who was very, very green. I think we're going to see her and Tamina do a lot of work together, maybe even her, Lana, and Natalya, since they attacked both Charlotte and Becky on SmackDown. I think we'll see maybe an early elimination on one of those three heels, and that's going to be a 4-women elimination match, and then kind of find them out. I think it's going to end between Charlotte and Becky being the last two, but I think ultimately Charlotte wins. Becky got the win on SmackDown in a one-on-one match. I think you have Charlotte win here, and then Charlotte versus Naomi at SummerSlam. This is a match that Naomi has personally even asked for on SmackDown during Talking Smack segments on SmackDown when they said, who do you want to face? She's like, I want to face the best of the best. I want to face Charlotte. So I think we're going to see Charlotte versus Naomi, and that should be a really good match too, and something to really look forward to. And I think finally Charlotte will win the SmackDown Women's title at that point. So I'm going to go with Charlotte here. I think Charlotte wins. If I had to guess the order of eliminations, I would probably say Lana, Tamina, Natalya, and then Becky would be the order of eliminations if I were to go even a step further. But I'm going to say Charlotte wins. Then we have Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin, Mr. Money in the Bank. Should be another decent match. Nakamura, I think, can get a really good match out of Corbin. I like Corbin. I know some people are sour on Corbin. He's kind of boring, and he can be. He can be very boring, but he can put on a good match too. His Deep Six looks very devastating. His End of Days look pretty devastating. The guy can go, and his strikes aren't bad. He's got some things that are good, and he's definitely got an upside to him. That being said, I think Nakamura wins here, and I don't think Baron Corbin's cashing in at Battleground. I think he might cash in, if I were to guess. I don't know the order of the pay-per-views, but we'll talk about that when we get to the full-time match. We'll talk about that a little more in depth because I don't know which pay-per-views are next. If I'm gonna be honest, there's so many of them. I know SummerSlam's next, but after that, I don't know. Survivor Series is what, in like October, November? I don't know. But anyways, then we have the United States Championship match: AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. Now, up until this point, I haven't mentioned this because this is the first of 3 matches on the card that is basically America versus a foreigner. And I don't mean just in the sense of that's just how it happened to be, but that's literally the storylines going into this match. Think about it. Kevin Owens was the face of America, and he was being a kind of a parody of America, saying that he was the best American out there, yet he's not even American, he's Canadian. He was, doing I actually really liked the gimmick. It was kind of short-lived, honestly, because at this point, AJ Styles is the United States champion, but he was taking jabs at the United States. So that, to me, plus it's for the U.S. title on top of it. So this is an America versus a foreigner type of match. And like I said, you have 3 of them. Cena versus Rusev is a flag match, Bulgaria versus America. And then Jinder's whole gimmick is, you people hate me because I'm different. You are haters, blah, 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 blah. And Randy Orton's defending America. That's literally what it is. It's kind of funny how that happened to be. But anyways, I think this is going to be probably a match of the night. There are some few prospects here for a match of the night. I mean, the women's match could be really good. Mike Kanellis and Sami Zayn, if Mike gets some offense and have a competitive match this time around, has potential to be a pretty good match. Cena versus Rusev, hey, they could have a really good match too. They're both very capable. Jinder versus Randy in the Punjabi prison match. Not a match I'm looking forward to. I think it's going to be pretty boring, if I'm being honest. But hey, it could be a car crash. It could be exciting. It could be one hell of a match. It could be. I don't think it's going to be, but it could be. So Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles. I think AJ Styles retains the United States title here. On SmackDown, they straight up teased the Nakamura versus AJ Styles match for the United States title. I think you do that at SummerSlam. You give Nakamura the belts, and then you have AJ Styles move on to go after Jinder for the WWE title, which kind of spoils my main event prediction, but we'll get to that. So that's what I think will happen. And then we have Cena versus Rusev in a flag match. I mean, Cena said on Talking Smack, rest in peace. Well, we'll get one after pay-per-views now. And I believe it was announced that Jerry the King Lawler is taking Daniel Bryan's spot, which really sucks. Oh, they're really killing that show. It was one of my favorite shows during the week. But anyways, I digress. Cena versus Rusev flag match. Cena said it himself that this is Philadelphia, one of the birthplaces of America, potentially even the birthplace for America, if you follow American history at all. I mean, this could be, like I said, it could be a good match, could be a brawling match. The way you win is you have to take your flag, and what's going to happen is on opposite sides of the ring is going to be your flag. You have to get to your flag, take the flag down, go all the way up the ramp, and place the flag into the flag holder, and you will be victorious. Now, Cena has mentioned quite a few times that this is the birthplace of America. If I lose, you don't want to let America down, yada, yada. I just don't see him losing this match. There's no reason for him to. I know Rusev, this is kind of his return match, and typically the return match he would win. You can just have Cena win here, and it's fine. It's not that big a deal. I don't think Rusev's going to lose anything by losing this flag match. It's not like he's being pinned. And then you can even have a rematch, potentially, which, granted, if Cena wins, you really have no purpose for a rematch unless Rusev destroys the American flag or something. I don't think there's a need for a rematch. But then it begs the question, what's next for Cena? If Cena loses here, what's next for Cena? Does he get added to the United States title picture? Is it going to be a triple threat match at SummerSlam? I don't know. I don't know what would be next for Cena. He's definitely going to be at SummerSlam. There's no doubt in my mind. Actually, you know what? You could have Cena versus Jinder Mahal. That's probably what you're going to get. And I think Jinder should retain there. And we'll get to that in a second. So I think Cena wins the flag match. If Rusev were to win, I think it would be great. It'd be a great way to give him a lot of heat. Have him not only win the match but destroy the American flag. Now I'm an American and I love America, but I think it would be great heel heat for Rusev. I don't know if they have the balls to do it. I really don't. Not in this era. But if this was the Attitude Era, that's something they probably would do. He would literally light the flag on fire. And I think that's fine. That's fine. It's wrestling, There would be backlash, of course, but it would get people talking, right? But maybe not do that. I don't know. But I think Cena wins here regardless. And then the WWE title match, we have Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton in the Punjabi prison match. Jinder picked the stipulation. I think Jinder wins. I think this is probably going to be probably the most boring match on the show, if I'm being honest, just because Jinder's kind of a boring wrestler. Orton's kind of a boring wrestler. They both have that slow-paced style. And I don't know if that really works in a match like this. It's supposed to be a car crash. It's supposed to be a fight. And I don't know if these guys really could do that. And plus you have the Singh brothers. They could possibly get involved at some point. And then what you do, and since I just mentioned it, Cena just won for America. He's Mr. America. Jinder Mahal wins this match. And then you could have Jinder versus Cena at SummerSlam. I think what you do at that point, so I'm just going to say Jinder wins this match. I'm not going to go in much detail here because this match I honestly don't care about. I hope it's a good match. And if it is a good match, I'll give it praise. I'm pretty fair about that. I try to take a step back and just kind of try to enjoy things. And if I don't, I don't. But if I do, I do, and I'll talk about it. But I think what you do here is you have Jinder beat Cena at SummerSlam. I know that's crazy talk, but I honestly don't think Cena winning his 17th title reign to beat Ric Flair's record would happen. I think it has to happen at a Mania, right? I don't think it happens against someone like Jinder. No offense to Jinder, but Jinder's not really good. I think it has to be a really competitive match. He has to be on the edge of your seat. It's something that could really be a once-in-a-lifetime match, It's a match that you could be on the edge of your seat for. What I would love to see happen, I've talked about this before, and I mentioned this when he was going to get ready to break the 16th, tie the 16th title reign. What I would love to see, and I know it's been talked about for almost a decade now, I would love to see Cena turn heel to win the 17th world title. The heat would be incredible. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if it was Cena versus AJ Styles? and he wins with a dick kick and an attitude adjustment on AJ Styles after this grueling competitive match at WrestleMania. And he dick kicks him, hits him with the attitude adjustment. 1, 2, 3. And he just has a smug look on his face. And you can do so much cool stuff with that. You can have Ric Flair confront him during WrestleMania or after the SmackDown after, and Cena just dick kicks him. And there's so much you can do. I don't know if they would do that. I don't know if they can afford to do that with ratings being so low, which it would be to me it'd be a rating spike because that'd be good television. But with them worried about so much about ratings and merchandising and this guy being a free agent now, I just don't know if they're going to do that. I would love to see it happen, though. I think it would be tremendous. He wins his 17th world title by cheating, and he just becomes a full-fledged heel from that point forward. I think it would be awesome. I think that'd be a good way to really flip the script and really get some people interested, especially in SmackDown, but in WWE in general. But I think you have Jinder Mahal beat Cena by hook or by crook. Cena goes away for a little while, will do his thing. You have AJ Styles, then he lost his title against Nakamura, but you can have him win a tournament, a battle royal, whatever you want to do. Cena or AJ Styles could win a number one contendership against Jinder Mahal, probably after the India tour, which I think is in August or September. You do the India tour. You basically get your payment for making Jinder your champion. Get that out of the way. Then you have AJ Styles win the WWE title against Jinder Mahal. And then what happens after that? You get Baron Corbin cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase, win the title from AJ Styles, and you put all that heat on a Baron Corbin. And I think that'd be great. You know, I think that's what they'll do. If you do it with anyone else, I don't think it'll be as effective. You know, if you have John Cena win the title and then have Baron Corbin cash in, you're gonna have people cheering for Baron Corbin, and that's not what you want since he's a heel. I think you want to do it on AJ Styles to get that heat, right? It was the same thing when, Randy Orton cashed in on Daniel Bryan. The heat was pretty good on him. And then you did that program for a while, and you could do Baron Corbin versus AJ Styles. First, you could have a triple threat match, AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, and Jinder. That saves us from another Jinder 101 match. You have Baron Corbin beat Jinder, not AJ Styles, and then you can go on to have another match after that at whatever pay-per-view. Like I said, I don't know how many pay-per-views are left in this year. I know there's SummerSlam. And that's in July or in August, whatever. It's at the end of the summer. So you still have probably 4 SmackDown pay-per-views. But you can keep that going for a little while. And then at the Royal Rumble, maybe start doing something else. Maybe AJ Styles wins the title back. And then you can set up the AJ Styles versus Cena program. AJ Styles versus John Cena at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. If Cena wins, he becomes the first ever 17-time world champion. And that could be really good stuff. Although the rumor has been that it's going to be Cena versus Roman. And I don't know if they'll do that at WrestleMania 34. So here's my pitch and my plan that I would do. Now, you guys will probably disagree with me, and that's fine. But if I'm WWE, and for one, I want to make Roman... I almost said Rusev. You want to make Roman Reigns your top guy, right? Granted, I don't know. I think Cena would be pretty light as a heel, so I don't know if this would really work. But I was going to say that you would have Cena do the heel turn at WrestleMania 34. He becomes WWE champion. And then at WrestleMania 35, since that's when they like to do their big stuff, it's their dream matches, that's when you do Roman versus Cena. You have Cena hold the title for an entire year of just him just cheating to win and all this bullshit. You have Roman Reigns the savior. I don't know if that would be a good idea. I really don't. But it might be a way to get Roman over. I don't know, but it depends on how it's all booked, right? Like, it just depends. If you can really get the crowd against Cena, I know that's get the crowd against Cena, and then get some credibility with Roman Reigns again, and then you set up that big match, because that is a big match. Like, even if you like or dislike either or both guys, I don't dislike either of them. That's still a big match. Like, they've never wrestled in a one-on-one match before. You do it at a WrestleMania. It's almost a dream match, almost a passing of a torch match. You had Cena have this terrible reign as champion. Roman Reigns comes in and saves the day, breaks Cena and wins the title, and then Cena can go off for a while and do his thing, maybe come back later on, but this would be like the passing of the torch moments. If it's a non-title match, I think Cena just wins the first one, and you have Roman win the second one, like they did with The Rock and Cena. But otherwise, I think that's something you could definitely do. I would rather it be someone else, especially if it's, if Roman can't start getting cheers by that point, I think you switch plans up and you do, I don't know who would be I mean, Cena versus Nakamura is another big match, but would they really have Cena lose after a year-long reign against Nakamura at a Mania? Probably not. Maybe Finn Balor. Finn Balor would be a good choice too. I think Finn Balor. They have a lot of stock in Balor. He's the first ever Universal Champion. He was a very long-reigning NXT champion. He's one of Triple H's boys. So is Nakamura. But I think Vince McMahon sees the value in Finn Balor. I don't think he quite sees that with Nakamura, at least not yet. Because he doesn't get it. I've even heard and I've seen things where people have said, Vince just isn't high on Nakamura. He just doesn't get it. He doesn't get why people like him. So hopefully that changes. But I think we could see Finn Balor or Roman Reigns, maybe even Seth Rollins versus Cena for the WWE title if you do something like that. But that's long-term booking. That's something they don't really do very often. And that would also require a lot of thought, a lot of good booking, and I just don't know if that's going to work or happen. But I would like to see that happen. That, to me, is a dream booking scenario. But anyways, let me know if you guys like that idea of AJ Styles versus Cena at this year's or next year's WrestleMania for the WWE title. If Cena wins, it's his 17th title win. He breaks the record. He cheats to win. Goes on to be a heel, maybe even for an entire year, holds the title, only to have someone like Roman Reigns, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins. You can have AJ Styles do it too. But I think you want it to be like the next top guy. And unfortunately, that's probably Roman Reigns to a lot of you. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But anyways, guys, I'm going to quickly rapid fire my predictions here, and then we'll wrap this video up. So at Breezango, the Breezango thing, I think it's either going to be Eric Rowan with Carper or it's going to be Sanity. Ty Dillinger versus Aiden English pre-show match. I think Ty Dillinger wins. The perfect 10. Sami Zayn versus Mike Kanellis. I think Mike wins. This is his second match. I think he has to win this match. Usos versus the New Day for the tag titles. I think the New Day will be the new tag team champions. We have a 5-way elimination match. Charlotte versus Becky versus Tamina versus Lana versus Natalia. I think Charlotte wins and goes on to SummerSlam, and I think she's going to win the title from Naomi. Nakamura versus Baron Corbin. I think Nakamura wins. AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens for the U.S. title. I think AJ Styles retains. Cena versus Rusev in a flag match. I think Cena wins. And then, of course, the main event is going to be the WWE Championship. Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton in a Punjabi prison match. I think Jinder retains by hook or by crook with the help of the Singh brothers. And honestly, could be and should be a one hell of a match, but probably won't be, knowing the two competitors in the match. Although I will say, Randy Orton had a lot of fire in his promo match and was incredibly over, actually. So who knows? Maybe he'll really try in this match. The reason why I say that, too, is because there's been a lot of matches where Randy just kind of phones it in. And honestly, the last two matches between these two guys have ended the same exact way. At least in this way, it has a different type of ending because you can't win by pinfall. Because literally the last two matches was Randy Orton goes beats up the Singh brothers on the outside of the ring, drops them on announce tables and whatnot, runs into the ring, gets hit with the Colossus 1, 2, 3. That's the finish for both matches. They're both incredibly boring. I'm hoping this match could be a little bit better, at least for Jinder's sake. The guy needs it. He's got to show something because I think his title reign's close to over. And once it's over, if he doesn't do anything exciting in that time, doesn't do anything important or exciting, I don't know if he's ever going to get another chance at the belt. I'm being completely honest with you. I really don't know. Granted, they gave it to Del Rio a few times, and honestly, I think Del Rio was just as boring. Honestly, well, I'll be fair to Del Rio. I think Del Rio was a bit better than Jinder. Could definitely cut a better promo than Jinder. The matches were still pretty boring, but I think he was probably a bit better than Jinder, but it was still pretty boring. But anyways, guys, those were my Battleground predictions. I want in the comment section below what your guys' predictions are. I want you to let me know what you guys thought about my fantasy booking idea of 2 years from now. You have Cena win the title against AJ Styles in the WrestleMania upcoming this year via cheating, dick kicks, whatever you want to do. And then just have this big old run as a heel. I know he wants to do it. I know he can do it. It would probably be too exciting and interesting that people would start cheering for the guy. That's kind of my fear for it, and I think that's probably their fear as well. I would have the adverse effect, but they want the guy cheered anyways, right? So, I mean, it wouldn't be the worst idea. It would be exciting television. It would be something different and fresh, and I think Cena could pull it off pretty well. And you can just tell the guy just wants to do it. The guy's been doing the same shtick for over 10 years now. He's got to evolve his character. All the greats have. Look at The Undertaker. Look at Triple H. Cena, sorry. The Rock. Stone Cold really didn't change up too much, but, don't break don't fix what's broke, right? Or why fix what's not broke? Man, I can't talk. Chris Jericho has evolved his character so many times. Kane. These are just guys from the Attitude alone. Mick Foley. Shawn Michaels, who was kind of in between a lot of different eras. The Undertaker, of course, was in many, many eras. All these guys change their stuff up over time and do different type of different type of, not really two different type of gimmicks, but they change up, they evolve their character. Cena really hasn't had that. So I'm hoping that maybe we can see something like that in the future, if he's going to stick around for a long haul. I know that he's talked about it. It's pretty obvious that his career is winding down and he's going to be probably looking to retire within the next 5 years, I would imagine. The guy's been working this long, hard schedule for so long. The guy deserves a break. He deserves it. He's definitely one of the all-time greats. I rate the guy. You can't really disagree with that. I know there's still people that just hate this guy, just will not give him any credit. But the guy doesn't put on bad matches. He puts on great matches. They're big matches when he puts them on. Most of the time, he's had some bad matches, but everyone has. And you can't just say he got carried through all of his great matches. You know, you just can't. That's not fair to the guy. The guy can definitely get the job done. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see a type of long booking for that, you know, in that regard, where Cena becomes a heel and cheats to win all of his title matches, and finally have this top babyface win the title from, and it could be a really big deal if booked properly. Anyways, guys, until next time, I am the Maverick Mark Daniels. You'll see me again for the Battleground review after Battleground. And until next time, guys, I bid you a farewell. Peace and one love.